Good morning everybody, good morning. So today's video, it might sound a bit surprising when you look at the title because we're asking the question, are your emotions and your immune system the same thing? And before we go into that, it's good to think about how much your emotions affect everything in your body, because when I first came across the idea that your emotions and your immune system are the same thing, at first I thought, I kind of get that, but I don't really know how. So a really good example is, if you think about yourself or if you think about somebody else where they're stressed and tense, you can usually tell, can't you, without being trained, you can usually tell a mile off that someone's stressed and tense because they'll have a certain look on the face looks tense and stressed, the shoulders might be up, they might be walking with the shoulders hunched forwards. They might look distracted. So already anybody and everybody knows that your emotions, right, affect your muscular system. So what I'm getting at is, if you can look at somebody and go, oh, look at his shoulders, look at his face, look at how he's carrying himself, he's tense, he's stressed. That's just giving you an idea of how your emotions affect your muscular system. And you've got several hundred muscles around your body. And then when you think about it a little bit deeper, you'll think, well, hang on, muscles don't do a lot on their own. They do what they do because your mind and your brain communicate with your muscles to tell them what to do. So equally, you can tell, can't you, when a toddler is excited because of the look on the face, they've probably got their arms up in front of them, they're probably running towards you. So all I'm trying to do is just point out that when you think about it, your mind very closely controls your muscular system. And you'll probably know that in people who are stressed a lot and they're very tense, for years and years and years, lots of people have known that being tense and stressed and angry can be really closely associated with a much bigger risk, excuse me, of heart attacks and stomach ulcers. And the reason I'm just going through these examples is it's really important to realise that what's going on between your ears affects the rest of your body, for bad and for good, so you've got a lot of control and a lot of influence there. And one of the people I consider myself to train under, so I read a lot of his books, I'm going to be going on his seminars when the pandemics are, whenever they're done with, but he's Hungarian, lives in Canada, a medical practitioner called Gabor Mate, and he teaches that almost all ill health, and you might not believe it at first, and I can understand that, but almost all ill health is the result of our emotional state. And he points out that in people, even with conditions such as cancer, a lot of the time, if they've had the wrong emotional state for long enough going on in the body, that then can damage the body's immune system that much that people can develop cancer. So we'll come back to that because it kind of bears on what we're talking about here. But what he said, and I got my head around this fairly quickly, I thought, was, he said, if you think about it, what does your immune system do? He said it's designed to let good things in, like water, clean water, food, drink. It's designed to let things in that are good for you. And your immune system is a lot of things. It's your skin, it's the lining of your lungs, it's the lining of your stomach, it's certain organs, and it's cells, billions of cells that are traveling around your bloodstream all the time. So your immune system's a pretty amazing thing because it knows how to recognize things that are good for you, like water, glucose, protein, but it knows how to fight against and repel things that you shouldn't be letting in. And the idea is that your emotions are very similar. In an ideal world, your emotional system, if you like, your emotions you generate up here, they're designed to let good things from life in and try to keep bad things out. And if bad things get in, if you're emotionally healthy, you're going to be a lot better placed to deal with those bad things. And then if you get a bit more technical, a bit more scientific, if you look at a diagram of somebody's brain, you'll see that your brain is directly wired up to your hormonal system. All hormones have their origin in the brain. Your brain makes, if you like, beginner hormones that tell other parts of your body to make other hormones. So your brain's directly wired up to your hormone system, and it's directly wired up to your immune system. And a really powerful way of understanding it is that if people are suppressed, if they're holding in a lot of anger, if they're holding in a lot of problems that they can't deal with, that really suppresses that person's immune system. And in cancer, it's been known for a long time that most people, in fact everybody at some point, have cells arising in the body that aren't like they're meant to be, that are cancer cells. And if you've got a healthy, robust immune system, your immune system recognises those cancer cells and it deals with them. And that's been known for a long time. But what if somebody's emotional state is really bad? Let's say they're very angry, very negative, and I'm saying that non-judgmentally, by the way, but let's say they've been like that a long time. If they're holding in and bottling up a lot of anger and a lot of other negative or bad emotions that they're not processing or repelling, then it decreases or suppresses their immune system. So the way Gabor Mate teaches it is, if we've been suppressing a lot of anger for a long time, we've also been suppressing our immune system. And then what he points out is, if we're suppressing our immune system, it can't do the same job of looking out for cancer cells that are arising naturally within the body and deal with them. So when you think about it, you might think, oh, the idea of your immune system and emotions being linked is a bit airy-fairy. But when you look at the fact that what's called the immune surveillance theory of cancer, which means your immune system it's putting in a surveillance operation to look out for cancer cells, when you realise that that mechanism in your body can be suppressed by stress, and that we experience stress right up here, it really got me thinking. So the good news is that your emotions and how you feel, you've got a lot of control over them. You've got a lot of control and influence over who you speak to, what you say, what you think, what actions you take. So there's many things you can do to influence your emotional health for the better. But as we're going into winter, and everybody's thinking about infections, and everybody's talking about new variants, I think it's really good to stop and think that your immune system has been evolving for millions of years. There is no drug to match it on the planet. It's extremely powerful, and there are things you can do to take care of it and cultivate it. So we're going to make a follow-up video later this week, and we'll look at some of those ideas. But for now, if you know that your immune system and your emotions are one and the same thing, you're in a more powerful position, I think. Have a good morning, everybody. Thanks everybody who's on here. Thank you, Craig. Thanks, Andy. Good to see you. Hello, April. Good morning to you. Hello, Andrea. And hello, Pauline. And hello, Vicky. Have a good morning, everybody, and thanks for being on here. Bye-bye for now.